In America, we have rights. And I've heard my whole life that those dang Europeans over there, they don't have rights. They don't have freedom.
Well, I have a quick question for you, sir. We're gonna go
Mm-hmm.
around the table here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you start. I have a question. What
Yep.
is your favorite right as an American?
My favorite right is my right to shoot anybody I want at any point as an American.
That's a good one. I think mine is my right to free speech, so I can use it hatefully towards people, but not for them to do it back to me. Then I'm gonna get a bit upset and try to sue them.
Are you saying your right to the N-word pass?
Yeah, specifically towards minorities.
Yep, yep. It makes sense. Those are the rights that we Americans were given to at birth and that Europeans just don't have, you know?
But yeah, let's see what Europeans do have, because nothing can be better than those two.
Just gonna say this right now. A lot of people don't understand when we are saying things satirically. That was all sarcastic, by the way.
I hope someone doesn't really think we're that crazy, but
Have you seen our
Some
comments?
some of the Americans are.
Here we go.
500 million people from 27 countries living in the European Union. We have the
Heck yeah.
right to live, work, travel and shop anywhere in Europe. We make over 1 billion cross-border trips every year, and 12 million of us live in another EU
Okay, wait, pause
country.
it for a second. I
But some
have one thing. They talk about the border crossings there. I gotta say, imagine how cool it would be to, say you just chilling, living in London, and you can take a €9 flight to fly to a new country.
So cool.
That's, I think, the best right as a European, even though it's not a right.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even fly from state to state in the United States for that cheap. Usually, a round trip is gonna run you. The cheapest is $100 usually.
Yeah,
Crazy.
crazy.
Sometimes we face barriers to our rights and our freedom to move across Europe. The European Union is working to make sure everyone benefits from the same rights in everyday situations. If you're one of the 75 million Europeans who fall victim to crime every year, you will have the right to support, protection and access to justice wherever you are in the EU.
All right.
Oh, that's
Every year, 8 million Europeans are accused or suspected of a criminal offence. To guarantee a fair trial, they will have the right to information, translation and interpretation, access
Hey.
to a lawyer, and to contact their family and consulate.
They have due process. That's not a thing in the U.S. anymore either. People are just getting sent out to other countries, to El Salvador, without even seeing a courtroom. Isn't that cool?
Do you think they get some translation and interpretation for them in those courtrooms?
I think all they see are handcuffs, and then they get their head shaved, and they're on a dang plane after they sat in a prison for months and months and months.
And the
Isn't that
letters I,
crazy?
C, and E.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. This place has become just insane.
There are more international couples too, around 16 million of them.
Wow.
The EU is agreeing to common rules to simplify the handling of joint property and to enable couples to choose the national law which applies in case of divorce.
Interesting.
If you're one of the 90 million Europeans travelling outside the European Union every year, or one of the 30 million Europeans living in a non-EU country, rest assured, if you lose your passport or fall ill abroad, you can ask for help from any EU embassy of any EU country if your own country doesn't have one there.
Wow.
That's
For
so
the
nice.
97 million working women in Europe who earn around 17% less than men and make up only 12% of company boards, the EU is pushing for equal pay and equal access to decision making. 1 in 6 Europeans have a disability of some sort. They should have equal access to goods, services and technology, whether it's getting a job, taking a bus or surfing the internet. With a population of 10 to 12 million, the Roma are the biggest ethnic minority in Europe. As EU citizens, they have the same rights as everyone else, without having to face discrimination or exclusion.
Seems like a good thing.
Yeah.
Thanks to the single market, consumers can shop
Definitely.
anywhere in Europe.
It seems like there is a lot of prejudice against the Roma people still in Europe to this day,
Yeah,
from what
yeah.
I've seen.
I don't know if you guys watching this video also share that prejudice, but we don't know anything about it necessarily.
One of them tried to steal my grandma's purse when I was in Italy.
Yeah.
So that's my experience only, basically, unfortunately.
And if you want to take the American viewpoint of it, you have one bad encounter with someone, and now you hate that entire people group,
Yeah.
right?
And it's dangerous. Italy is now a dangerous place because
yeah.
of that one experience.
Yeah.
So tell your whole family not to go there.
The 8% of us currently buy online from other European countries. New EU rules will make it easier for online shoppers to find their favourite products in other EU countries, with the option of choosing a European sales contract to safeguard their rights. For example, when returning goods. These rules are good for the economy too, because businesses can trade anywhere in Europe under the same rules. This cuts costs for companies, especially small ones, which make up 99% of companies in Europe. Your personal data will be safeguarded. 70% of EU citizens are concerned that their personal data may be misused. That's why the EU is working to strengthen your right to access, change, or delete your data, as well as the right to be forgotten, letting you remove data after you no longer want it to be used.
Zuck has something to say about
As
that.
a European citizen, your rights are protected at home, abroad, and online.
Wow.
I mean, the thing you just see constantly American companies who they're like, oh yeah, by the way, sorry, we've been selling your data to advertisers and all these other companies. If you want to, you can fill out this form and we'll give you $5. How does that sound? And they definitely make way more than the amount off of that.
Or if as soon as a Chinese app starts collecting any data whatsoever, they're like, get rid of this app, ban it, annihilate it.
Does it have access to your home router? Yeah, you need to connect to the Wi-Fi to use the app. They're stealing your information.
As Mark Zuckerberg is sitting there just stealing everything you've ever looked at on your phone.
He's getting his slimy reptilian tongue all up in my business, and I don't like it.
And he's sliding that reptilian tongue in Donald's business, too. He's getting nice and close to him.
Yeah, he could be sliding some other reptilian appendages in there as well. Who knows?
Oh, God. What appendage are you referring to?
We'll leave that to the imagination. Shoot, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I had a thought in this video, if anyone's still watching at this point. How does... I know, like, a lot of the European Union stuff is typically... It's more beneficial for the smaller countries that join, and, like, a country like, say, Germany technically would give up more. How do Germans feel about that, I wonder? Is it like the US where anytime one person has to give up more, they're like, actually, I don't want to be a part of this anymore? Or are Germans actually like fine with that, or whatever other country?
It probably depends if that German likes Elon Musk or not.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, this is a very interesting video. It is, I mean, basically, you will see Americans that literally will say that Americans have more rights than Europeans because they've been told their whole life America has the most rights and the most freedoms, blah, blah, blah. And apparently that's not really the case. And these videos just kind of show these rights that people living in the EU have that Americans probably really don't have. We don't have the freedom to move to across the border to Canada if we want. There's a whole process. People with U.S. green cards are getting detained coming back into Canada. It's insane.
It's so interesting that this video is kind of like showcasing a lot of these rights and laws are kind of to bring a lot of countries together and kind of more solidify the European Union, whereas in the U.S. right now, we're getting a lot of there's a lot of pushback against federal rights, and it's more becoming states choose a lot of things, which is interesting.
It's unifying instead of,
Splitting.
dividing. Yeah. So interesting. The EU and the United States are going very different ways. Let's hope that that's good for. Let's hope that the U.S. can hopefully get its stuff together, but I'm doubting that will happen ever.
You mean the U.S. will unify with Europe by taking it over? First,
The
starting with
U.S.
Greenland?
EU.
Yes.
Will we? Freedom is finally coming to the EU, guys. Be ready. Be the nice one.
Well,
Bye.